Good morning. It's time to get in touch. In Touch is a public affairs show dedicated to improving the lives of Susquehanna Valley residents. I'm Freddi Hammer, news director at Backyard Broadcasting. Heating costs are skyrocketing, and for some families, that just means a dent in the budget. But for others who have a fixed income and no family close by to help, it means going without, and in some cases, using space heaters that put a resident in a very dangerous situation. Fire, a huge concern for this season. A man who knows a lot about how people heat their homes, Vinnie Reeder of Reeder Brothers Fuel Services, is warming hearts and homes this year by starting a fundraiser, raising money for heating oil for those who can't afford it. It's called Hats for Heat. Hello, Vince.
Hello.
Is it Vinnie or Vince?
Both. I don't know. I was Vince until I was like 18, and then I turned into Vinnie. So.
Well, Vinnie's kind of nice, too.
Yeah, works for me.
You're a sweet guy, and lots of reputation follows you. A good one, too.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your family business, Reeder Brothers Heating.
My dad was in the fuel business. He was a contract hauler for Agway since 1966.
Okay.
And 1998, he wanted to go out on his own. And he basically told us three boys, you guys are working it.
Okay.
So we're at 24 and a half years right now and going very, very well.
It's a wonderful time of year to talk about heating because it's on the top of our minds. Lots of money being spent for our heating bills and lots of folks not able to really afford that. You thought about it by saying, well, I don't know if this fundraiser actually came about on purpose. It kind of happened by accident, Hats for Heat, didn't it?
It absolutely did. I made about a dozen hats for my family and my nephews and son, and I happened to take a picture of it and put it on Facebook, and a couple people had texted me while hunting asking if I was crazy, and I had no idea what they were talking about.
You mean?
Yeah, and then I looked, and 31 people wanted hats within a couple hours. So,
do you think it was because of the style of the hat and what you put on there, or is it an American-friendly hat?
It is an American-friendly hat. It has 7 different styles.
Okay.
And knit hats and some knit fleece. And, and I thought we could do something with this.
So just the few hats that you made, just regular ball caps that you made for your family, it really spurred the interest of the whole community and more.
And way more. We have shipped them to 12 different states. They're out in California, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, North Dakota, pretty much everywhere.
Anyone who sees these hats, it's a word of mouth thing. They're like, how can we sell it? How can we help?
Absolutely. And so many people outside of even our community, they will just send money as a donation and said, help someone in your community.
Amazing.
It's amazing hearts of people that do hear this story.
So Hats for Heat started there with just a few hats, and so you came home from hunting and thought, we can do this. You and your wife got together thinking about how can we make it bigger, or how can we make people feel like we are thinking of them?
I sat down that night after I showered and thought, I think we could do something and help 1 or 2 people out. 100% of the profits go straight to heating oil to help these people. And it kind of absolutely blew up.
Wow.
And we have helped so many in need. I think we're like 22 to 24,000 in free heating oil.
Amazing. So many people are calling and saying, we want to donate. We want to buy hats. There's like couple different ways to do it. You can just send a check to Reeder Brothers.
Yep. And we have gotten just donations, buying hats. Some people recommend someone, and then they tell me their story by email or whatever way if they call me. And we have a ton of requests because everybody needs help.
Tell me the one about the man that was laying on the floor when his family came for a welfare check, laying on the floor near the space heater, which was so dangerous, and how you helped him.
Yes, this was just when I got an email from a lady that lives in Harrisburg.
Okay.
And she has someone that checks on her brother. He is a retired Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
He's suffering from PTSD. He has a heart condition and dementia. And when they went to check on him, he was laying on the floor with 2 space heaters dangerously close to him, to stay warm, he was out of oil.
Oh, my gosh.
And did not have the means to buy any.
What is oil going for right now, a gallon?
Right now it's $3.99.9.
And a tank is 100?
275 gallons typically in most houses.
Okay, so this man has a big empty tank.
Yes. And I told her we would definitely help him out. And unbeknownst to us, we got up there and he had 2 tanks.
Oh, my goodness.
So we just kept the nozzle open and we filled both tanks. So he should be good all winter and warm. And
oh, that makes me just, I can just imagine how that must feel for his family to know that he's cared for.
Yeah, his family reached back out to me and thanked us. And it's really the community and the donations is what makes it happen.
You're just the vehicle.
Yes.
But I know that you have the biggest heart too, so it's a wonderful, wonderful vehicle.
I love helping people, and I'm just blessed that this has gone where it has gone.
I was introduced to Hats for Heat through your friend Diane Smith.
Yes.
And she said that this is amazing and how you've raised so much money, and even more has come since she mentioned what she knew.
Oh my gosh, she is, I consider her family now.
Nice.
I had gotten a call around midnight. One night. She did not have heat, and she was crying. So I said, there's no reason to cry.
Right.
I will be there. And I went and I fixed her furnace, and she was telling me her story. It just popped in my head. This is someone that deserves it and is going to be our first recipient. And ever since then, she has had my back, and whatever I ask her for, she is on it.
She's your new PR person in a way.
She absolutely is.
Well, that's wonderful. I'd love to talk to Diane. Can we get her in here to talk about it?
Absolutely.
All right, well, maybe we'll get her to come in here in the next few minutes.
That would be awesome, because she is a very wholehearted woman.
She told me about the fundraiser that you're going to be having on January
28th.
Yes.
January 28th, yes. We're going to have it at the Loyalsock Hotel on Route 87. We're going to have baskets there. Last year we had 54 baskets, and we threw that together in about 5 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
And then hats for sale. This year we're actually adding apparel as well. And again, 100% of the profits do go to heating oil. In the Loyalsock Hotel, Evan and Lori Muma, the owners, are gracious enough. They're going to have a breakfast starting at 9 to noon.
Okay.
So the doors open at 9 until closing time, and they're donating 10% of their profits.
Amazing.
And then 50/50s. And last year it absolutely blew my mind that many people came.
Yeah.
They actually had to cancel the band because there was no room for them to set up.
Oh, my goodness. Put them out. Get a speaker. That'll fit somewhere on a table.
Yes. But that's a beautiful problem to have.
Absolutely. That's the first problem in PR. It's like, make sure you have less room than you need. Well, because that's what makes it a success.
Yes. It was a beautiful day, and we raised over $6,000 that day.
Okay.
In heating oil for people.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that we're supporting you. So where can we send a check? Give us the address where we can send something.
You can send it to 336 Church Alley, Montoursville, 17754. Or they can email me if they have any questions, and that's Vince Reeder, VinceReeder @gmail.com.
And do Reeder Brothers have a website with any information on it about this, or is it just about heating oil?
We do not.
Okay.
Actually have a website. We're 3 country boys, born and raised in Montoursville, out in the country.
Go with Facebook.
Yes.
That works.
Yes. And I even need help with that. Echo helps me tremendously with all that stuff. She's got my back, and she walks beside me in this journey.
That's a wonderful journey. We're so proud of you because you're sort of our native son doing these wonderful things for people.
Yeah, it's great to be a part of, for sure.
Well, let's get Diane in here, and then we'll wrap up and talk about the fundraiser coming up on January 28th, and we'll find out a little bit more about the folks who need some help and how we can get people vetted to make sure that they are helped this year if they need heat.
Absolutely. And, boy, a couple dollars even helps. I have gotten donations from so many different states that they're not part of this community, and it's helping everybody around here.
Do you think that other communities are going to want to start the same kind of program?
I certainly hope so, because the word got out, and I was getting requests for heating oil, I know from Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts, and I had to respond with, we are just a local oil company.
Although you probably would love it in your heart if you could.
Oh my gosh, I would love to. And they heard about it because Newswatch 16 ran
I see.
And they put a link to it. So I tell everybody, show that link to your local oil company and say, look what you could do. I would love it to go everywhere.
We're going to put you on the Today Show.
Oh!
Get you as the founder of this.
I would need a makeup crew, for sure.
Oh, Vinnie, it's so great to have you in the studio today, and I can't wait to talk to Diane. So we're going to be speaking with her about how Hats for Heat is just hopefully going viral all over the place.
I hope so.
I have no clue what we're doing. I never spoke into a mic except for when Ted shoved one in front of me and asked me how many hot dogs I ate.
Okay, well, this is about the same. Let me scooch over.
I worked 44 years at a job, right?
Yes.
They closed. Unfortunately, I thought all was going to be well and good, but my mom took sick.
Yeah.
And I said it was the hardest thing I ever did. I didn't know where to go. She went into the hospital totally independent.
Yeah.
Come out totally dependent. And I didn't know what to do or where to go, and my funds. But the main thing in my life is my mom.
Sure, you wanted to love her and help her and make her well again.
Correct. So I proceeded on, and did what I had to do. And, my furnace broke down.
Mm-hmm.
So I called Vinnie, because I've dealt with them for a long, long time.
They were always your oil company.
Always. So Vinnie come up, and he was fixing my furnace, and I was telling him, I said, Vinnie, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, for the first time in my entire life, I applied for Lie Heat, and I missed it by $12.
Oh, gosh.
And it was like...
You had done everything right.
I just didn't know what to do. I never had to rely on anybody. And I said, I've got my furnace now broke down. And I said, I really don't know what I'm going to do. And I've got a handful with my mom. I said, I need to order oil. I said, I'm going to call here in the next couple of weeks because I have to, my Social Security will be in.
So you can spend that, which isn't to go
Correct.
for oil, but you had to.
Correct. At the price of oil, but I need heat.
Yes.
Absolutely. I can do with a lot. Bologna cheese, whatever, But
Yes.
heat we need.
Absolutely.
So he was there, and I explained the situation, and he left, So a couple weeks later, I ordered oil, and I told Laura, I said, you're going to have to wait till I get my Social Security. She said, Diane, don't worry about it. It's...
Sure. It's a
okay.
family business. They understood you.
Absolutely. So they come up, they brought my oil. Okay, a couple weeks go by, and Vinnie calls me, and he says, Diane, you're going to be home. And it was on a Sunday. And I said, my furnace is running. And he goes, no, he said, I just thought me and Echo would stop up. And I'm like, well, my furnace is running. And he's like, well, we just want to come up and see you a minute. I'm like, well, okay. And I'm thinking,
This is unusual. What's happening?
why do they want to come up here on a Sunday and my furnace is running? And so they come, and he walked in, and the first thing I said was, Vinnie, I called, Laura, and I said, I got my oil, but I said, I can't pay for it for like another 2 weeks when I get my Social Security. And he goes, well, Diane, that's why we're here. And that's what happened.
Yes.
It just went silent.
Oh.
And he pulled out the little ticket like they leave you in a door, and he handed it to me, and he said, it's paid for. And I said, I couldn't say anything. All I could do was cry. Because I said, and then I said, Vinnie, I'm always doing for everybody else, and I've got so much going on. And I said, I can't believe it. I said, you're like a blessing. I said, I cannot thank you enough. And I never heard of Hats for Heat.
Right.
Because he had just started.
Right. He had just had these funds coming in from the hats that were accidental.
Yes.
Oh, how amazing.
Yes.
What an amazing touch of your life.
And he said to me, you're my first recipient. He said, we need to get a picture. And I'm like, really? I said, I'm crying my eyes out. I haven't even combed my hair. So they took a picture, and we chit-chatted a little bit. And ever since then, I have been on board with them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was going to do.
Right. They're the angel that came in when
Absolutely.
you had to say, I give up.
Absolutely. Because I was ready to give up. I mean, I had so much happen it was like God's calling, because my job ended, then my mom got ill, and I was the only one. And I didn't have the funds coming in.
Yeah.
And any funds I had to take and apply them to her. She had to go in a nursing home for 2 months and I'm not a nurse.
Right. It's a very shocking thing for everybody in your family, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I'm so glad, and I'm grateful, and I'm just the spirit of this entire process of being part of Hats for Heat.
Yes.
And being the cheerleader for the Reeder family.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something, Freddi. Without WILQ, seriously, this radio station and everybody involved with Backyard Broadcasting, they got it on. They got it out there. Because when I was out there to the benefit, I can't tell you how many people were like, we heard it on the radio. We heard it on the radio. You guys were another angel to this.
Well, I think that's the spirit of our owner, Van Michael, and Ted Minier, of course, and everybody that does work here. Everybody wants to be part of this family, and we work hard to bring you in and help the readers make sure that the whole family is taken care of.
Right.
And the observation is well noted, because coming back here has been great.
And it's not as if it's just, their customers.
Right.
Vinnie has jumped into this with both feet because he's in a position where he does meet a lot of people and he has a lot of customers.
Yes.
But word of mouth. Mm-hmm. The gentleman that he told me about up in Jersey Shore, elderly man. Mm-hmm.
On the floor by the heater.
Floor by the heater.
Yeah, we had talked about that. It's unbelievable. And that's just so wonderful that that's another person that can be helped. And how do we help Vinnie and his family and Echo and everybody do this? So let's talk about the benefit coming up on January 28th.
It's at the Loyalsock Hotel. And last year when they had it, it was so packed all day. All day. They didn't even have room to put the DJ in that night. Beautiful basket raffles, the whole community, everybody come together, and it was absolutely fantastic. They had breakfast there. Everybody was happy and, selling tickets. They did such a great job.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that we're going to be able to repeat that for this year.
Yes.
So get on out there. Plenty of parking out there at the Loyalsock Hotel?
Plenty of parking.
That's good.
Everybody finds a place. Whether it's up the road, out back, across the road, where everybody. But they had a great time, and they raised almost $19,000 last year.
That's a lot.
Just through the community and everybody coming out and showing their support. Absolutely. And selling the hat.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm here to try and get the word out that that's the day it's going to happen again, and let's make it just as great as what it was before.
Absolutely. Diane Smith, it's been wonderful to meet you. I just love you already. I'm so glad that you're here.
And I love you too, Freddi. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being on In Touch with us.
Thank you.
In Touch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions, comments, or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive, Williamsport, PA 17701. Attention Freddi Hammer. Or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. For archived programs of our In Touch series, you can download and subscribe to our new Backyard Podcasting feature through a link on any Backyard Broadcasting website or obtained where podcasts are available. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Backyard Broadcasting. The programming discussed here on In Touch does not necessarily reflect the feelings or opinions of the management or staff. Thanks for listening to In Touch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.